I wanted to share with you guys an interesting concept that I recently reconnected with from my past training as an executive manager and business coach. And that is, we all want what we want, right? Everybody watching this, at some point in the day, there's something you want. There's something you want for today. There's something you want this week. There's something you may want this month. There's something you want for your business for the entire year. But all the people in which you're engaged with, they also want things. They also have desires, hopes, dreams, accomplishments, things that they want to achieve. The success in achieving everything that you want in life has to do with your ability to help those around you get everything that they want in life. By you giving more than you trying to receive, you will receive way more from your efforts than if you were to continue to start each and every day like it's a tennis match. You're on one side of the fence, somebody's on the other side of the fence. You're trying to get your point in. You're trying to get your point across. You're trying to be acknowledged. You're trying to be validated. You have this need to be right. Or you have this guaranteed, history of this is how it is. This is how it always is. This is how it should always be. I'm here to tell you that having a fixed idea and carrying it forward again and again and again just moves you further and further away from the finish line of agreement. Because at the end of the day, the most successful owners, CEOs, practice owners, executives, directors, clinical directors, managers, administrators, it's all about bringing about agreement. And I've recently realized one of the most successful tools you have is clarification, definition, complete duplication, or understanding of whatever the topic is. And I know this may sound very elementary. I know you may feel like I'm just giving you some basic report here, some basic knowledge, but honestly, I'm not. Recently, I was in a negotiation with another party about something, and I understood very quickly that I believed we, in our heart, in our soul, and in our efforts, we wanted the same thing. I wanted them to have this level of achievement, this level of efficiency, and this level of productivity. And they wanted it too. But what I was proposing to them and how I was proposing about going about it, they had misunderstoods. They had confusions. They had misdefinitions about what I was talking about. And so I said, let's break it down into its parts. And I started talking about the points of agreement. You want to have this. You want to experience that. You want to have that. Yes, you got it. Yes, you have it. Yes, it's exactly what I want. Well, I want that for you too. And when I went into that mode, the dukes came down, the guard dropped, and the ears opened up, the eyes widened, and the person was ready to receive what I was about to say. I acknowledged that possibly and potentially in the past, you did it this way. And at that time, at that size, that probably served you very well. Validate, acknowledgement. Then I said, however, where we're standing today and where we want to go for the end of this year and the goals that you want to achieve are us at a scalable rate beyond where we are today. If you believe and if you trust that I have a proven track record of success in scaling and expanding, then you will agree that if I have the same goal in mind for you, you have the same goal, we achieve this common level of understanding, then it's all about taking the agreed upon steps to get us there. And so I said, let's agree on each step. I broke it down into its parts. What does it mean when I suggesting community outreach? I'm not saying you're going to go to the, Girl Scout camps and go to the 4-H club and go to the things that other people have seen or read. I want you to make it your own. What community event do you feel would most attract your public, would most benefit your public? What could you give back without asking for anything in return? And then it started to become clear. Oh, this is a variety of activities, not just one exclusive activity that's going to get me the return on this investment. In this case, it was marketing. But then I moved into executive leadership. Where have you invested in your employee? Right? Where is the win for them? Well, Brian, they have pay and benefits. Everybody has pay and benefits. Everybody has the 6 paid holidays. Everybody has some PTO vacation time that they can take advantage of if they're a full-time employee, right? I'm like, but where's that value add to them? What is that? What's that looking like? Where's the professional growth and development to them? Where is the concrete investment in their career path that you're willing to invest in them without anything in return? These are the elements of success in a small private practice, medium-sized private practice, large private practice, because it's about the humanities. Some people may say, Brian, when you're on the smaller scale, you can do all those things. You can do this all the way. I don't care if you have 100 offices or one location. If you can't find a way to enrich your community without asking for something in return, without asking for something in exchange, if you can't find a way to enrich your company culture and exchange an abundance with your staff so that they are inclined to want to do it back with you, if you haven't found a way to enrich and enhance the experience of your patients so that they're beating the drum outside these four walls in your community, telling others, this is the best practice I've ever been to, I felt like a person. I felt like an individual. I wasn't a number. I wasn't like, when I had things that came up in my schedule, they accommodated me. When I had things with a financial concerns, they accommodated me with a payment plan. What series of humanities, of civility, of human exchange and abundance that is going to be put forth by you as the practice owner, the manager, or the person in control, that's going to leave the impression, that's going to leave the feeling, that's going to leave the reality in those around you that you're that type of person. You're that type of gal. You're that type of guy that is in it to win it for all participants. This is the definition of the word pandeterminism. If I'm pan-determined, I'm capable of playing chess with myself in the park and putting forth the best sported game for the enjoyment of the game for both parties. I'm not in it to win it. I'm not in it to score. I'm not playing tennis. I'm not trying to spike that shot. I know it can feel like that. I know private practice and I know healthcare is an imperfect system. It's extremely frustrating. I know the insurance companies are rigged against us, in my opinion. I know that we have headwinds on costs, taxes, labor. I understand that. I understand, but Brian, cost of hiring and procuring people is elevating while the reimbursement for the services we deliver is decreasing. Well, then you have to pick another lane. Number one, are you generating 3 sources of income? Number 2, are you empowering other people to be entrepreneurial within your practice? Number 3, have you found an ability to capture more net revenue by reducing operating costs? Automation, AI, outsourcing labor in the hands of people that are just experts at not only delivering that labor, but managing that labor for you. You've heard me say time and time again, I believe the future of physical therapy are physical therapy practices with DPTs, PTAs, and techs. Do you have RTM inside your practice? It's about $6,000 to $8,000 a year in generated revenue per therapist for almost nothing. I mean, the labor, the return on investment is, you should do the math. You should look into it. That's my strong advice. Do you have 20% of your business running with cash? I mean, cut out the middleman, cut out the insurance company, cut out the suppression. So the message I'm trying to send here in this video is that it's about how you start. It's about how you start that's going to dictate how you finish. And I've given you some shining examples, and it has to, in my opinion, spread across all the structure, the entire structure of your organization, all the divisions of your company. Your marketing division, your financial division, your production division, your administrative, internal, company culture, policy, personnel division. All divisions have to be included in this party. And if you do that, and if you step back and be yourself and exchange in abundance and give without expecting anything in return, you are going to see that you are a magnet within your community. People are going to beat the door down and want to work with you. People are going to beat the door down and want to be participants in receiving the services that you have to provide. Now, you do have to wear your executive hat and make sure you have an exchange in abundance and efficiency and productivity and quality, as well as in the way you work with your admin teams. At this day and age, if you can get 85% of what you ideally could do yourself or what you ideally would want from any particular position within your organization, you're golden. Because I'm here to tell you, no one's walking around like you. No one's doing exactly what you want. One of the biggest things I had to get comfortable with was walking through my gym and seeing somebody treat a patient and me going, oh my gosh, I would do something different. But they weren't necessarily wrong. It's just my skills and my education and my experience told me otherwise. So I would pull them aside later and say, hey, let's do a professional enhancement day today or this week or this month. I think I have some manual therapy skills that you might really enjoy seeing. I wouldn't make them wrong at the moment for the things they were doing, but I would take that to heart and see if I could reinvest in them without them ever knowing it. That's the kind of thing I'm talking about. So that's my message. I think you guys can do extremely well with this. I hope it really lands on perked ears, and I hope you can really see the benefit for those around you first and foremost, and then in the spirit of that play, it all comes back to you in a tidal wave fashion for what you've put into it. It's what you put in that's going to dictate what you're going to get out.